All right, so we're there. We're gonna just give me a minute. We should have. Let me.
They have no idea what they should do.
Okay, so we have Dr. Friday with us. Let me just get these some things clear up.
What are you doing?
We suffer. We gotta mobilize ourselves and make a contribution. We people got to be involved in.
Okay, so those of you following, we have Dr. Friday with us. Let me make sure I got everything good. Good afternoon.
Hi, good
Dr.
afternoon.
Friday.
Good afternoon, Bert.
You hearing me
How are you
loud and
doing?
clear? I'm hearing you loud and I'm seeing you. I'm good. I'm good.
Loud, loud and clear. And you're seeing me well.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, yeah, my voice seems to be holding up for the time being, as you know.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard.
but first of all, let me greet everybody and just be thankful that we can meet here today and exchange our ideas. For all those people who are listening to us abroad, of course, we are always so grateful that you take the time out to be with us. For people here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines from Fancy in the north, beautiful Fancy, give a shout out. And to the extreme down in the south in Union Island, down in Clifton and Ashton, all the places in between, in Mustique, in Bequia, in Mariaqua, in North Windward, North Leeward, Central and East Kingston and West Kingston, all the places in between. Thank you so much for being a part of the show here today. But as you know, it's more than a show. It is us. We are discussing the things that are important, that are critical to the well-being of our country. And there is so much that is going on that is not right. It is not progressive. It's taking us in the wrong path. We have brought these to your attention many times. We'll continue to discuss them. But you know, we can't always dwell on the things that are um, pulling us down. We also have hope. So we have to be positive about how we are going to make life better for the people of this country. And that has been my focus. That has been our focus in the New Democratic Party board. But before I get into that, I just want to give a quick recap of some of the things that I've been involved in, some of the things that our great party have been doing, our members who have been doing such wonderful things over the past week. We have, of course, there was the major event of the week was the holiday on Thursday, the National Heroes Day. And we always make it an obligation, a duty, but one that I enjoy tremendously to be at the celebration up at Dorsetshire Hill in recognition of Chief Joseph Chatoyer as our national hero. But more than just simply talking about Chatoyer and his importance to us, it is also an opportunity for us to seek to inspire our people, to bring our people together. It's called National Heroes Day. This is an opportunity for us to reach our people, to appeal to our better natures, to, you know, it's in a sense, it's like Independence Day. You know, we seek to bring our people together. In a sense, we are appealing to our people to live in the spirit of Joseph Chatoyer, who fought for the sovereignty and the dignity of our people, that they should not be subjugated, they should not be second to anyone in our country. And that is the kind of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that we seek to build. Sometimes we get carried away with our differences and we lose sight of our national project, which is to build St. Vincent and the Grenadines for all of us. The present government you have in place, they have always been very clear that they look after their own supporters first. That has been the way they have governed, and they don't care about or at least they don't give any real recognition or place of prominence to the approach that says that you have to look out for the entire country. They're saying, how do we stay in power? And if it means just taking care of whatever majority you may have gotten at one time and keep them happy so that they can vote for you again, then that is what they do. But that, of course, leaves our country behind in the back of the line for everything, everywhere in the region. Our development is stunted. Our people, I see just there, but a recognition, even by the Prime Minister, that they're losing a lot of our skilled young people, in particular those in the Coast Guard. A story in the newspaper. This is something we have been campaigning on for years, to say that we have to do something to keep our young people, in particular here, who want to build a life here. They don't feel that they have a place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that is why we made it a cardinal point in our election campaign last in 2020. That is not just a matter of saying, well, listen, you had the education revolution, so-called. That's what they call it. And then now it's up to you. And then the people can't find work, or when they are working, they don't get promoted because people are being promoted, especially in the police service, based on partisanship, on the party card, rather than on competence. And then you have people. I met a woman, an officer the other day, who said that she'd been in the service for many years, and still as a constable. Yeah, and she's not the only one. There are many others who have told me this. Here you are as a constable after serving over a decade, and there's no prospect of promotion. How does that inspire anybody? And so then the pay is poor, so that if you're at the bottom of the rung in terms of your seniority or your position within the service, whether it's a public service in general, police service or teaching service, the lower down, of course, the less you get paid. And we in this country are the lowest paid in the region. So when other people look around and they say, well, boy, I could get a job in BVI, or I could go up to St. Kitts and Antigua. You know how many Vincentians have been in Antigua in the police service? They feel that they have better opportunities there. And if you're not getting promoted, at least you're getting paid better than they are here. And they could make a life for themselves and send back money here to build a house, finish the home, and educate the children. That is the reality in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And for the Prime Minister to acknowledge it in his comments is that, that's late in the game, before they try to hide it and shush it up, that no, everything is honky-dory. Did you hear any acknowledgement of this during the budget address, that this is something that needs to be dealt with, that we need to be able to keep our brightest and best in our public service? And it's not just the police service, and it's not the Coast Guard only. The nurses we're losing in droves.
Yes, true.
They're going elsewhere. They're moving out, and they're finding opportunity elsewhere, because they are being asked to work in conditions that really should not, in this day and age, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, should not exist in our health service. The hospital is in very, very poor condition, and then they are in the service there, and they're not valued. They're just being treated as though they'll be grateful that you get a job. Go do your work and shut up. And this, well, all right, I'm a free person. You might have forced some of us to take the vaccine, or you have fired some people who didn't. But we can also take ourselves elsewhere and find more lucrative employment, more meaningful careers. Yeah. Now that makes us all in this country less off, because we lose talented and skilled people. And that is one of the things that we have to do. If St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I started out saying that we have to all believe in this project, which is St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to build a viable country that is better than it is now. And to do that, all of us have to be playing a part. All of us have to be appreciated. We can't just treat some because they say, oh, you're in the opposition, or you support the opposition, and so therefore you have no place in this present St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You can't make decisions. You don't have to be consulted because you're there on the other side. Well, we are part of this country, and we love it just as much as anybody else. We work hard to build our communities, and I'll talk a little bit about that just now. And so we have to, at some particular time, remind ourselves of that. And National Heroes Day, for me, over the years, I've made many addresses there. Every time there's a National Heroes Day and I have the opportunity to make an address, I do that because I seek to inspire people, to get people to feel that we are part of a common project, that we are all Vincentians, that we want to be a part of this going forward, notwithstanding the fractious difficulties that we have here, and the spite and venom that you hear from some people at every occasion,
Sure.
that we reach out for our better natures. And I think our people, we need to hear that from time to time, that this is all, we are all one people. I mean, it's been our slogan for a long time: one nation, one people, one Vinci. And we must mean that. And we do mean it in the New Democratic Party. Now, I said about, individuals being inspired to do things and so forth. And this is part of what National Heroes. There was Chatelier, he sacrificed himself for the dignity and sovereignty of our people. Will not relinquish the right to say, well, listen, this is our territory, and we will govern it as we choose. And that is something that we all aspire to, and we must aim towards. We know the difficulties. As I said in my address up at the obelisk, the difficulties or the challenges may appear different now, but the struggle is the same. It is one for human dignity, it's for sovereignty. And we have to recognize what the challenges are, know what our strengths and weaknesses are, and come together and confront them. And don't let divisions keep us apart. And this is what the moment inspires us to do. But there was a fantastic example of that last weekend in my own constituency. In Beckwith and Lower Bay, the Sylvester Simmons Foundation had their inaugural annual sailing competition. And they had junior sailors, young people come from the Southern Grenadines, from the mainland, from Beckwith, and a couple of the local double enders and so on also race. But it was really a focus on young people, young sailors who were there with the parents and the grandparents, and they came out to support them and to show, to encourage them. And it was such a wonderful feeling to be there. The wrap up yesterday afternoon, when they invited me to present trophies to some of the winners, I was happy to be there, and I had conversations with some of the young people who were racing, and they're so excited about being a part of it and to be the star of the show. They're there, and everybody come to watch them, and to encourage them. And what a fantastic thing! And I want to commend the members, the persons who formed this organization, the Sylvester. I don't know if you know Sylvester Simmons. Sylvester Simmons. Yeah, man, he was a stalwart. I mentioned it here on this radio station before, but he was a stalwart of our community in Beckwith, particularly in Lower Bay, where he came from, and very, very much a part of encouraging young people in the sailing tradition. He used to run a program there for years, encouraging young people to sail. So this is a continuation, and I want to take my hat off to those individuals, Kingsley Simmons and Carly Peters and Albert Olivier, and I'm not going to name them all. Of course, his wife, Joan Simmons, who have been a part of getting this organization going and putting the money where the mouth is, so to speak, or their labor, their effort, where the talk is, and say, this is how you organize an event. You have to put the work in, and you get people to support the idea, and you reach out to everybody who is willing to help. And that was wonderful to see there yesterday, that the first of, I hope, and they have promised that this will be an annual event. And already I sent out the invitation to come back next year, same time, which will be bigger and better. But I think it is extremely promising event, because it will encourage young people to get into this sport. But it was so so wonderful. We've been talking about getting young people involved in sports, getting the state to play, not just to play a part in an ad hoc way, but to say this is the program that we have in place to help young people who are involved in swimming, sailing, athletics, cricket, any sporting discipline that you can think of that we recognize here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where our young people want to excel. When they do, that we say, okay, the state now has a role to play in helping you to reach the best that you can be and to help you when you need to go to compete, to assist you in doing that. I'm so pleased to see that a local private sector entity in Koreas have they said that they will partner with Shafiq Malone to help her to go to the Olympics in Paris later this year. I think that's a fantastic gesture on their part, but it's not going to be that alone. You know, the state also has a role to play and must do that to show that we as a people that we recognize her accomplishment, that we are grateful, but that our hopes also go with her. We know that she will do her very best to represent it, and to reach at this level at this stage now is a tremendous accomplishment in itself. But I know she's not going to rest on that. That she's going to go there to Paris not to compete but to win, and she will do her very best for our nation. So it's important that we all get behind and support her in that effort. So well done there again. But we other things that I want to highlight. We had a wonderful, and when I say wonderful, really, I know you could hear my voice is still strained because the weekend, I'm supposed to take it easy, and my wife say, go and gargle with salt water or something and keep your mouth shut, but I can't because I have so many things to do, to reach out in the community. We on Saturday night we were up in North Windward. We were actually in Georgetown for North Windward, the second in what is now an annual event that Chevron John and Senator John and her team are putting on. That is the fundraising dinner from the North Windward constituency, and I was happy to be there. I made some friends, strong, long-term supporters, yeah, who were there enjoying themselves, taking part in an event that it was wonderful. There was a great turnout, and Chevron and her team, they arranged for awards to be given to people who deserve the recognition for their commitment to serving the New Democratic Party and their constituency, one of whom was former representative Monty. He wasn't able to make it. Ronty Roberts, he was there. He was supposed to be there, but he wasn't able to make it. But we know of his contribution that he's made. Of course, there's a recognition as well for Elvis Daniel, who we lost recently, and to show our respect for him with a moment of silence. For all the other persons who received awards, I want to congratulate them for having excelled in that way to achieve the recognition from Senator John and her team. But they have said that a couple of them I spoke with, this is just the beginning, Dr. Friday. We continuing this work. We know what we have to accomplish. We need Chevron to be in Parliament as an elected member, not just as a senator. We need the NDP to form government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines because there's so much that needs to be done. And they know that Chevron is there, her heart is there with them, and that she will deliver for them. So that is the commitment that came out as well of that recognition. So thanks everyone who came out to that wonderful dinner. Major was there, I know, and Daniel, of course. He's more than present. He's like, he is more than honorary. He's part of that community. They recognize him in a special way. So and Mrs. Cummings, Sharon Cummings was there, and some other noteworthy persons. Luzette is always there supporting that. Luzette King, she was there supporting. We had a very, very good turnout from the constituency and from neighboring constituencies, and even as far down as in Kingston. And well, for me, of course, I came up from Beckwith, so it was really a wonderful event. That was last Saturday night. And Chevron, well done. We look forward to doing it again next year. But I know that even as you were busy doing that, I saw her this because she just came back last Sunday from the UK, and she was obviously tired from all the work that she had to do. But then yesterday, her cricket tournament, continued,
Oh
uh,
yes.
and will continue throughout the rest of this month, and well towards, I think the conclusion is somewhere around the third weekend of April, and we have something special there for that, because this is, again, it's a fantastic event. Think about this: you have cricket, softball cricket, in the community of the North, in North Windward, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Teams, I think there were like something like nearly maybe 20 teams, men and women teams, participating. You think about the size of that competition, but it's huge, and
It
it's a
is. It is.
lively event. Yeah,
It is. It is.
it
I
is.
and when
And
we
this is
went
the
to the
second
opening,
year that it's
a
being
lot
done
of teams.
again. It's an annual. It's going to be an annual event, and well done to the organizers, Siobhan and her team, and for all those teams and individuals who participate in it, who come out to form to be part of the cricket team, to take part in the competition. And I urge, our, anybody, on the weekend, you have a quiet weekend and so on, drive up, go to OWIA, and participate and see the taking the tournament. It's a wonderful event. Last year we were there, of course, and this year we hope to be there again, not just at the final, but at taking some of the games at some point. But the finals, whenever that comes, is going to be a special event. You see the large crowd that was there last time, and that was the first time it was done. So imagine what it's going to be like this year. That people know that this is an exciting event, and so many other teams are participating. So well done with that. But of course, on a more solemn occasion, we were on Saturday as well at the funeral of the late Charles James, who was he was a member of Parliament. He was senator during, I think, 1979 to 84, thereabouts, from the government side, the Labour side, Labour Party. But he was somebody, for listening to the tributes that were paid to him. He was somebody who, earned the respect of his community, who had put himself forward, as I say. He put the hand up and say, for public service, count me in. That is somebody you have to respect, irrespective of the political, whatever party that you're in and so forth. That is your choice to do. But if you say, I am willing to offer myself a public service, that is something we must all respect. And I never question anybody's motives when they say this is what I want to do, because I know how challenging it is being involved in it myself. So I was very grateful as well, Bud, to be given the opportunity, even though I wasn't on the program, but I was present at the funerals. First, of course, we went to the viewing, Senator Bruce and I, because he is from Senator Bruce's constituency, North Central Windward. So we went to the viewing at the Parliament on Saturday morning out in Caliqua. And then following that, we went to the funeral service out at in North Union. And Senator Bruce was there, General Secretary Brenton Smith was there. We had other Bash Addison, Bash Thomas was there, and that is, I'm just saying, from the Democratic Party side of the things. And I was so grateful that they gave me the opportunity to speak at the funeral service. I want to thank his widow, Mrs. James, whom I met at Parliament, and gave my condolences to all the family members who were there. And they gave me the opportunity to pay tribute to him, which I was very happy to do, because he's a fellow traveler. He was somebody who put himself up. He contested elections. He was a senator. He was in the Parliament. He was a public service. He gave public service at the highest level. So that is to be recognized. So I just want again to extend my condolences to the family and to Mrs. James in particular, and to thank them for the service that the Honorable Charles James gave to his country. But on the weekend coming up, of course, we have the fair at Daphne, the West St. George Fair coming up, the health fair that Kay and her team, Bacchus Batiste and her team in West St. George, are putting on again a fantastic event. We know this from past. um, years, that this is it's a very, very worthwhile endeavor, and I want to encourage people to go out and be a part of it and to take advantage of the services that are provided there, and of course to participate. It's a gathering as well. There's food and drinks that will be for sale, and so we should be all part of that. Of course, not to forget, but I just want to say, maybe I'm leaving the best for last. I meant to say it a little earlier, but on Thursday last, we went up to Greg's
Greg's.
for the celebration of National Heroes Day. What a fantastic time that was! I mean, the sun was blazing, but it was beautiful event. Lots of people were. By the time I was leaving, the place was starting to fill up. But the reception that I received was just phenomenal. It was out of this world, and I am so grateful for everybody that I reached out to, who embraced me, who welcomed me. I mean, some of the people who welcomed me, they weren't even from Greg's. They went there like me too. And I was part of the visiting to be part of the event. But I want to thank them all for the hospitality that was shown. And I hope that it was reciprocated, that they felt it was, at least from me, because I reached out to as many people as I could, shook hands, and wished them well on National Heroes Day, because it comes back to what I said at the beginning, where it's a national event. Shook hands with everybody. Everybody you meet, you just try and you go to them. I don't know what their politics are. That wasn't my purpose for being there. It was there to be a part of a community event that is really a fantastic event. The food that was there, the traditional foods that were being served, the just the atmosphere. I saw some friends there from Beckway who they usually visit us to Beckway, but I guess they went somewhere else and they heard about this and they dropped by. They seem to be having a fantastic time. They're visitors here some of them have their homes there, but most were visitors to Beckway and they were having a wonderful time. So it's an important national event. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't make it all the way up to Fancy, but maybe next year. And then from there we went over by Major. I don't know where Major's get the energy from. He had his event there out at Block 2000. So we passed by there in the afternoon as he was honoring several persons for their contribution in the community, and again a gathering of supporters and friends and just people who wanted to be a part of a community event at Block 2000. We had a wonderful time there for the short while that I was there with the people who were present, and I know it went on into the evening, because even after I went back to Beck, I was listening it on the radio with Patches and them and Johnny Rebel, singing their hearts out, entertaining the crowd. So well done, Major. Well done, team. Central Kingston, Igal, and the other fellows, persons who put the effort in every year to make this an important community event. It's what we do. Imagine with all this stuff that we're doing now in opposition, the energy that we'll bring to being in government. And that's what I urge our people to do. Take this opportunity, put the New Democratic Party in government, put your confidence in me and in my team. We have people who have done tremendous things in their life. They have a lot of experience to bring to bear to government. And there are other persons who will join our team as we go into elections that will make this a team that will deliver for the people. This is not just people to win an election, but it's people to govern the country for everybody. And I want the people to understand. But I met a lady, what day was it? Friday, I think, in Kingston. General Secretary and I were doing some chores and walking about, and stopped someplace in Kingston. And there's this lady, she wasn't afraid to say it. She was saying it loudly, and she said, I support the Labour Party in the past, but I'm voting for you. I'm voting for NDP next time around. But she said, Friday, there are people who, they scare me and they worry me and they say that, that NDP going to take with the jobs and so on and so forth and take my job. I said, that is nonsense. Do not believe that. Don't care who tell you that. Anybody who says that they're coming to take anybody's job, they have to get through me first. This is not something that the New Democratic Party will do. And she acknowledged that this was done by the other party, by the ULP. And others have acknowledged that, have said that. In fact, they call it own the jobs, not so?
Yes.
Our position is that we will grow the economy and make opportunities for everybody. And everybody will have a fair chance to obtain jobs, whether it's from government or in the private sector. You don't have to worry about your job. If you're doing a job, you continue to do your job is safe. People are trying to frighten them to think, oh, and then they're going to take with people's job and they mustn't vote for Friday. Don't vote, don't bother with Leacock, don't bother with Cummings and all them. That is nonsense. That is not in our nature. And we know that in governing the country, you cannot do it on half of the people. Everybody must come together to get the job done. That is of developing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And all of those people who want to support the change, and I know there's a vast majority of people in the country, let's do it. Let's get it done. Give us a chance to govern this country. We can do better than we are doing now. Too many of our young people are leaving our shores. We have made that promise to our young people. But in our Youth Guarantee Pledge, what we have told them, we say as a young person, if you're looking for a job and you can't find a job, we will arrange for there to be training. We have training programs so that you can go and to do something that will provide you an opportunity to get a job here in St. Vincent. And then having done that, if you have the training, then we have internship programs that will allow you to get a job in the private sector that will be supported by government. We'll pay half your wage, your salary, and the private sector entity will pay the other half, so that you have a chance to get real job experience, not just that you're getting a paycheck at the end of the month and you sit in a corner doing nothing. No. People want to be able to develop their skills. You'll have a real job, and hopefully the private sector entity who hires you as an intern will see the value of that person and say, you know what, I'm going to keep them on as a permanent employee of this entity if the person wants to stay. If they figure, well, listen, having had a year experience, which is the period of time that I want to have that program run for at least, then I can go and apply for a job elsewhere because now I'm more employable. That is what we want to do. That's what we say to young people. You get the education, of course. Our country, we must provide the best education we can because we don't have gold. We don't have iron ore. We don't have bauxite. We don't have oil. What we have is our intellect. We have our people. We have our arms, our strength, our commitment. And we want to be able to give people the best chance they can to develop. And that's what we offer our young people. Give us the chance and we will deliver it. And you see what we've said with our sporting program as well. And you will hear more about that, but because, as you well say, we need to speak to people in that discipline in the field to get advice to say, this is how we should construct such a program, Dr. Friday. This is what will benefit the people. I said it last week, and I will say it over and over again because people need to know what we are about and not to be carried away by the lies and the misrepresentations that you get from the other side. We are committed to that. It's a complete package that all comes together very well to see that this is not something that you're making up on the fly. We have the Youth Guarantee Pledge, which is consistent with our National Athlete Program, which is consistent with our plan to develop technical and vocational education so that our young people can have better training, which is our plan to say to keep our young people here so that they don't have to leave to go find greener pastures elsewhere. This is all part of what the New Democratic Party is about because we know that our young people are our future. We say it all the time, but we don't act as if we believe it. And when our young people fail, when they don't have trust and faith in our country, then our country becomes a failed state because our brightest and best go elsewhere. They develop other people's countries, not their own. And they want to stay here. They want to be able to contribute here. And so we'll make that opportunity available to them if they want to do so. Make them more employable, give them opportunities to get employment here, create jobs here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, give them the first opportunity to get those jobs, and also to have jobs that are paying better than they are now, certainly better, that we don't stay at the end of the line or the back of the line in the region when it comes to earnings and the wages being paid to our workers. These are all things that are in store in the Democratic Party. Somebody asked me that, but they say, right, we're looking forward to changing some, but tell me what exactly, and they're complaining about the hardship and the difficulties and making ends meet and so on. And I said, the time when NDP comes to office, we will reduce the VAT from 13%, from 16% to 13%. That is an immediate benefit to you.
True.
And that we will expect that the retailers, especially the grocery stores and so forth, and all the retail stores in the country will pass on those benefits. The reduction in VAT will mean that prices will go down. And that is how our people will benefit, because they will pay less when they go to buy these things in VAT, because the VAT is charged on whatever the cost is that you pay at the grocery store. So if we implement that, which we intend to do, when we implement that, you benefit right away. So, things are brighter within the Democratic Party. Thank you, boy.
Thank you, Dr. Friday. And I just also want to mention that not only we losing in terms of the skill persons, we losing a lot of athletes too, because the athletes are frustrated. A lot of them, because they have that skill set, also go to the army and so forth. So we are losing in all fronts under this government, and I don't understand how only now they come to that realization of the situation.
Well, part of it is just that they're pretending, and they're seeking to mislead people. If you can't run any record, you run on lies and try to bamboozle people. What you're doing.
Let's try to get in somebody. Okay, Doc, we're gonna try and get in. I see a call. Let me see if I get them in.
But
Good.
I'd be very grateful, because I got to rest my
Good,
voice.
good. Yeah, so save your voice. Good morning. Hello, are you there?
According to my time.
Hello?
I'm saying it's afternoon according to my time. I hear you saying
Good afternoon,
Yes,
Dave.
yes. Good afternoon.
Well, I am responding right away, quickly.
As usual.
Yes, good morning to you, Doc, and it's good hearing you as usual. It is so refreshing. It is so refreshing to hear a different voice and someone speaking differently than what you're accustomed to get from the Prime Minister. And that's why I have to respond very quickly. You see, Dave Roberts for years has been keeping a critical eye. And that's why I have to speak on our politics in this country. And I can say this without fear, that from the time Dr. Ralph Gonzalez got the opportunity to govern this country, he has proven that he's really on an ego trip. That's how I describe it. He's on an ego trip. When you listen to him, the way he speaks, he has become so emboldened. He became so emboldened over the years that he can tell us as Vincentians who are never accustomed to this type of treatment in terms of telling us what he wants to. But what is my big disappointment is how we have allowed somebody to just come on the scene like that and treat us like how they want. What's wrong? What's wrong with our consciousness? This is what I question. What's wrong with our Vincentian consciousness, identity, and all of that? Yes, from the time he came on the political scene and getting into parliament, he has wasted no time, to get his ego going, building up his ego, till you feel that there's a dynasty in this country that he has been able to create, where those who are close around him, are protecting him, and you dare not say anything bad about the comrade, because he is the alpha and omega of this country. That's my language. And, if others like me, who are very observant of what has been going on, I don't think we can tolerate this anymore. Because if we allow this to happen, the country will become just like Haiti, or even worse than Haiti. And then things will just get out of control. We want a peaceful country. After all, Haruna, home of the blessed, I don't hear that. I don't hear that anymore, because we have become so sucked in to new new thinking in terms of where ULP is taking us or what or they're trying to take us that we seem to have lost. We seem to have lost our real sense of being people conscious of where we want to go and what is the best thing for us.
Well,
And
Dave, that is because for too long they're letting Ralph and the ULP talk for them rather than saying, listen, I have a voice too. Democracy requires me to make my voice heard. I have the right
that's
to do it.
right.
Don't be
That's the
afraid
point
of
I'm
anybody to
making.
do it. You know,
That's the point
tell
I'm
people
making.
what is needed to make things better according to your view. If they don't do that, then you basically there's no point in democracy if you're not making
Right.
your voice
So you
heard.
allow them to take advantage of you. And
Exactly.
here's the
Because
reason
what
why
happened? They're brighter
I
than you. Brightness here nothing to do it. What it means is that you are part of this country, a citizen. You're entitled to a voice. We all
so
have different talents, different skills, but we
that's
have the
right.
same right in this country to make our voices heard so that our country becomes a better place. That is the only way it will become a better place. And I invite people to do so. When I'm in government, I will invite people to do so, respectfully, of course, and constructively. But
Don't
we
give
need to
it-
hear from our people, the farmers, the fisher folk. We need to hear from them. They're the ones who know what the difficulties are, what is needed to turn things around in their particular part of the economy, the construction industry, tourism sector. You think Carlos, James know what's going on in tourism better than the people who are running the hotels and guest houses? Eh?
Not at all, not at all.
But you can't pretend that simply because you get the label of minister that you know everything. And that's the fallacy. That's the mistake these guys make. They think
Let
that
me
that
just end
confers
up
knowledge.
let me just end up by saying with your guidance and your leadership in terms of your leadership in government, once you get there, I will be hoping, praying that there can be a quick turnaround because, like I said, I can see what's going on, what's happening, and a lot of intentions have been accepting bribe, and they have lost their way. But I hope that with all what is happening now, reality that is taking place, and there's no doubt in my mind that all the things you hear talking about is because election is coming. Well, we know constitutionally it's due by 2025. And I just want our people to stay focused. And to those who are still sleeping or those who are not awake and are not aware and conscious and sensitive to what's going on in our country, come on, man, wake up, get real, and realize that one man is trying to take us down or take us the wrong way, in spite of all what you're saying. Anyhow, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Dave, and keep talking, my friend, because not enough people do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fred. I don't know why I'm not getting. Let me just try again to see if I get the WhatsApp in. Good afternoon. Are you there? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, I have to. All right, so it's 3 minutes to the 1 o'clock hour. Just to say to the person, I'm not too sure why I'm not getting the. Just call back on the WhatsApp. Let me try and see if I could try and adjust another way before we take the break. I'm not too sure why I'm not getting the calls.
Well, let's hope we can get it sorted, Bud, because I want to hear what the people saying.
Yeah, try to get that. I'm not too sure. Okay, let me try again. I probably, if I take it from here, gonna try. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You hear me? Good afternoon. Okay. Hello. Okay. let me apologize. I'll try and get that sorted out and not to show what I'm doing wrong or right, but I'll try and get that sorted out as soon as possible. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this call quickly. Okay, there's somebody else. Let me try and take the call quickly, and then we'll get the break, and I'll try and get that sorted out. So let's see. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brother Bob.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my president.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hazelwood. Welcome back. Thank you.
I listen. Now, I was listening to Thursday with where these things will have up. That's the hill. And the Prime Minister make a statement, and I wonder why he made that statement. In his speech, he said, national passport.
Hello.
National passport. I want to know why you have to use that word. Who was saying the word, please?
It's a stock record. I don't know what you're saying it yourself.
The Kuna people?
Eh,
Because Mr. Yusuf said that give them an honorable citizenship.
And he
I
said
want
they
to
come
know that is the way
and he said the people coming to take the jobs and take away land.
Something last week, he make a statement. He said like this. A lot of people go to England and different parts. And the grandchildren, they have a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren who born in those countries, never come back to Zimbabwe. And he would like to allow them to come back to the homeland because their parents have been sanctioned. So I want to know, those people who were scraped up from the oil land and brush over part of dash them and throw them back part of the now. They have been sanctioned. They soon got the same opportunity that the people them who the children them who born overseas from the parents and grandparents and great grandparents. Same way they could have the opportunity to come home from the homeland. It's not the same opportunity the Garguna people should have to come back home to the homeland. So why you have to use but he national passport? I find that very strange.
Well, my friend, all we can say is that some people, that's all they can think of. It's just everything is a political opportunity. And I don't think the people who were there present appreciated those remarks, but
I don't know. I just trying you.
I mean, the speech was it was just a rambling.
There was scrape up from the
Rambling speech.
country and blast away from the land. So the grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren they go over there, born over the who they feel where they're staying away. They have a right to come back to the homeland with their parents and grandparents and great-great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents was moved from the land and just in a place that is good for human beings. They wouldn't be glad to come back. They're not coming back to nobody's house and land and work. They're coming back to see where the parents and the grandparents.
That's right. There's a yearning. I mean, there's a longing that even for us here we don't quite appreciate.
Coming back for.
As you could see from there was one of the speakers there at the obelisk who was brought to tears. Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Was brought to tears in her remarks because she was overcome by emotion, and we have to be very sensitive to that. And some of the remarks that you hear from the Prime Minister in the past was certainly incongruous with what he was suggesting or talking about up at Dorsetshire Hill. But in any event, we continue to reach out to our fellow brothers and sisters as we have done in the past, and they know of our commitment there. This is not for political grandstanding. This is a commitment that has been long in the making, and every time I get an opportunity to speak, I speak of them as being part of us as being part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as part of our national heritage.
We're gonna take this call and we go to the break because we in the break time. Good afternoon, Newtimes.
Hi, boy. Good evening. I just want to remind Dr. Friday that individual just not gonna it's not just about reducing the VAT to 13%, but also number of items would be zero rated, so it make it easier for consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the reminder, partner. That was very good.
Over 100 items would be zero rated.
Yes.
So that will make a big difference. All right.
Big difference.
Okay.
And that is true. That is something that we will do. And then when you couple that both with things like reducing this interest rate on student loans to 4.5% or lower if possible. Think of the money that it leaves in people's pockets, young people in particular. And even those people who have loans now, they will be able to go to the national level and renegotiate. Just say, listen, I have a loan by this institution, pay it off for me, I'll take a loan out with you, because you're offering me 4.5%. And we do the extension or whatever the time is. And they have more cash in their hands now. They can start doing something with it. They can buy a piece of land, build a home, add on to the home, buy a vehicle, educate the children, things that make our economy tick, not just paying interest to a financial institution to pay to their shareholders.
Okay, fair. So, Dr. Friday, we're going to take the break and come back in about 12 minutes. So those of you who are on the live stream, we're going to end that stream, and in 12 minutes, you'll see a new stream.
And but when you come back this week, we have the inter-school games. So of course we'll say a bit about that too.
Are you running, or you're out of school, right?
I'm running for election. I ain't going on the track.
So we're talking
I
about
used to run in high school. I used to run the 800 meters, but I was never that kind of athlete. I like cricket and football.
Speed, I was into the road relay, but never just like you fast. Okay, Doc, let me just take this person. Let me just. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Okay, I have just a few things that I want to say. For instance, some years ago, they had a problem down in Grenada where Maurice Bishop was involved, and he and some of his people get shot down and killed and everything, and people would jump off the cliff and with everything down in Grenada. So I'm wondering if something like that might occur here in Vincent or some other Caribbean country. I just asking that.
I'm not too sure I'm following your question. You're saying the Grenada Revolution. Are you asking if there's a possibility that there could be a revolution in any of the other islands?
Yes.
Well, only God knows, but yes, there's always possibility that something could happen. Okay, thank you.
Yes, okay.
Thank you. Okay, Doc, I'm going to definitely take the break and we'll come back. So,
Thanks.
The Monday Beat Splash.